Grab your popcorn, horror fans, because today we're cracking open the Undead Vault to bring you 20 weird, wild, and downright fascinating facts about George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. From the strange origins of its mall setting to the wild on-set improvisations, you'll never see this movie the same way again. Fact number 1, George Romero got the idea for the film after visiting a mall. This entire zombie apocalypse started because of an offhand comment in a shopping mall. In 1974, George A. Romero was invited to check out the brand new Monroeville Mall in Pennsylvania. At the time, shopping malls were still novel in America, shiny temples to consumerism. Romero's guide showed him the vast layout, the hidden service corridors, and even the rooftop access. Then came the kicker. Someone offhandedly mentioned that you could barricade yourself inside and survive for weeks if the world ever fell apart. That stray comment lit the fuse in Romero's mind. He immediately imagined survivors holed up inside while chaos raged outside, a safe haven turned trap. 4 years later, that same mall became the film's primary location, with its candy-colored storefronts serving as the ultimate ironic backdrop for a zombie apocalypse. Fact number 2, the original title was Dawn of the Living Dead. The movie we know as Dawn of the Dead was almost called something completely different. Early drafts carried the working title Dawn of the Living Dead. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Romero's earlier film, Night of the Living Dead, had already cemented the phrase in horror history, but legal tangles over the title and a desire to make Dawn stand apart led Romero to drop living. The final title, Dawn of the Dead, ended up having a poetic punch. It hinted at the next chapter in his zombie universe and gave the film a sense of scope. The change may seem small, but it's part of what helped Dawn carve its own identity in horror lore. Fact number 3. The blood was intentionally bright and unrealistic. The movie's blood is so bright, it almost looks like it came out of a cartoon. When you watch Dawn of the Dead, one thing stands out immediately: the blood. It's bright, almost pinkish, nothing like the deep crimson you'd expect. That was no accident. Special effects maestro Tom Savini used a shade of fake blood designed for the old Italian horror scene, which popped more on screen. Romero loved it because it made the violence feel surreal and exaggerated, almost like panels in a comic book. This choice also softened the blow for censors. Despite the over-the-top gore, the unrealistic blood color made it harder to argue that the violence was too realistic. That weirdly cartoony look is now part of the film's signature style. Fact number 4, Dario Argento helped finance and edit the film. One of Europe's greatest horror directors secretly shaped this American zombie classic. Dawn of the Dead owes part of its existence to Italian horror legend Dario Argento. After Suspiria made waves, Argento heard Romero was cooking up a new zombie story. He invited Romero to Rome, offered him financing, and in return got the rights to release the film in Europe. Argento even provided music by Goblin, his go-to prog rock collaborators. He later made his own cut of the film for international audiences, tightening pacing and emphasizing the horror over the comedy. Without Argento's backing, Romero might never have had the budget or the creative freedom to unleash his Undead Mall saga in the way he wanted. Fact number 5. The film was released as unrated in the US. This movie was so gory, the ratings board practically told Romero to release it like a porno. When Dawn of the Dead was finished, the MPAA slapped it with an X rating, which was usually reserved for adult films, not horror. Rather than butcher the movie to get an R, Romero made a bold move. He released it unrated. This meant some theaters wouldn't show it and TV wouldn't touch it, but it also meant horror fans got the full uncut experience. Romero even leaned into it for marketing. Trailers warned audiences about the graphic content, practically daring them to watch. This gamble paid off. The unrated release became part of the film's rebellious identity. Fact number 6. The movie was filmed in a mall that was still open to shoppers. The cast had to dodge both zombies and Christmas shoppers. Shooting in Monroeville Mall was a logistical nightmare. The crew could only work at night after stores closed and had to clear out before morning shoppers arrived. They even had to remove props and fake corpses daily so as not to freak out customers. Muzak still played over the loudspeakers during filming, which they couldn't shut off, so sound editing became a challenge. To top it off, Christmas decorations went up midway through the shoot, forcing the production to take a break until after the holidays. Despite all that, the mall became as much a character in the film as the zombies themselves. Fact number 7, some of the film's gore effects were improvised on set. Tom Savini, the special effects wizard behind Dawn of the Dead, wasn't working from a rigid blueprint. Many of the film's most shocking moments were born from spur-of-the-moment ideas. The infamous screwdriver to the ear kill, that was something Savini came up with on the spot, using a retractable prop and clever camera angles. The exploding headshot, he repurposed a cast of a dummy head, stuffed it with food scraps, and used a shotgun to blow it apart for real. Romero encouraged this improvisation, which gave the gore a raw, unpredictable feel. Watching the film, you can tell nothing about the violence feels staged. It feels dangerous, messy, and completely unhinged. Fact number 8, Tom Savini played as a biker in the film. As if creating legendary gore wasn't enough, Tom Savini also stepped in front of the camera to play Blades, one of the marauding bikers. Blades is one of the film's most memorable villains, grinning maniacally while hacking through zombies and survivors alike until karma catches up with him in the form of an undead horde. Savini didn't originally plan to act, but the biker gang needed bodies, literally. So he threw on a leather vest, grabbed a machete, and went to work. His stunt experience made him perfect for the dangerous physical scenes, and his performance was so memorable that Blades even returned decades later as a zombie cameo in 2005's Land of the Dead. Fact number 9, some extras were actual cops and soldiers. Many of the extras playing police officers, National Guardsmen, and even some zombies were real-life locals. Romero tapped into the community for manpower, knowing that people were eager to be part of a movie. They were paid little more than free meals and the chance to wear makeup, but the novelty of shambling through a mall at night was reward enough. Some of those same extras still attend conventions today, proudly pointing out their brief appearances, like being the zombie in the brown suit or the guard firing into the undead crowd. Fact number 10, the original ending was much darker. Romero's original script ended much darker. In it, Peter and Francine both die. This bleak finale was meant to mirror the hopelessness of Night of the Living Dead. Props were even prepared for Francine's decapitation. But as filming progressed, Romero felt the characters had earned a sliver of hope. He changed the ending to let both survive, leaving audiences with something more ambiguous than purely grim. It's a fascinating what if that shows how small changes can completely alter a film's legacy. Fact number 11, the film's tagline came from drunken conversation. One of the most famous lines in horror history, "When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth," wasn't the result of a marketing meeting. According to legend, Romero came up with it while drinking and talking about the film's themes of overpopulation and death. The line ended up in the script, spoken by Ken Foree's character Peter, and it became the tagline for the film's posters and trailers. It's creepy, poetic, and perfectly encapsulates Romero's knack for mixing social commentary with horror chills. Fact number 12, there are multiple cuts of the film. Dawn of the Dead exists in several different versions. Romero's US theatrical cut balanced horror, comedy, and satire. Argento's European cut was leaner and more action-focused, stripping away much of the humor. Then there's the extended Cannes cut, running over 2 hours and including scenes left on the editing room floor. Fans have long debated which cut is best, but each offers a different flavor of the same undead feast. For hardcore collectors, owning all versions is almost a rite of passage. Fact number 13, the zombie kids were Tom Savini's relatives. The two frenzied child zombies who attack Peter in the small airport hideout are unforgettable, partly because you don't usually see kids portrayed as the undead. Those pint-sized ghouls were actually Melissa and Mike Savini, the niece and nephew of Tom Savini. Romero cast them because he trusted Savini to keep the stunt safe, and because the shock of zombie children lunging at a hero added an extra jolt. The scene remains one of the most disturbing moments in the movie, precisely because it crosses a line most films avoid. Fact number 14, lead actress Galen Ross lied about her acting experience. Galen Ross, who played Francine, landed her first ever film role in Dawn of the Dead by claiming she had prior acting experience, when she really didn't. Once cast, she proved she could handle the role, delivering a grounded performance that brought intelligence and strength to Francine. a character who could have been reduced to just a damsel in distress. That gamble paid off so well that it's hard to imagine anyone else in the role. Fact number 15. Two of the leads worked together in a restaurant. David Emge, who played Steven, and Scott Reiniger, who played Roger, actually worked together at a restaurant before landing their parts. A casting connection brought them both in to audition, and they each snagged one of the 4 lead roles. Their existing friendship made their on-screen camaraderie feel natural. This real-life rapport is part of why their scenes together, from joking in the helicopter to fighting for their lives in the mall, feel so authentic, even as everything around them turns into chaos. Fact number 16. The film is a thematic sequel, not a direct one. Although marketed as a follow-up to Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead doesn't continue the same storyline or feature the same characters. Instead, Romero treated it as a thematic sequel, showing a different corner of the world as it collapses under the zombie plague. This approach gave him creative freedom to explore new settings, characters, and satirical angles, this time targeting consumerism, hence the mall backdrop. It's a storytelling choice that allowed the Dead series to evolve with each entry rather than feeling trapped in continuity. Fact number 17. Filming was interrupted by Christmas decorations. Production began in November 1977, just as winter set in. Shooting in the mall at night meant bitterly cold temperatures in the unused areas, and cast members often layered clothing under their costumes. By December, Christmas decorations went up, forcing Romero to pause filming until after the holidays. This break actually helped the production, giving the crew time to edit what they had, refine effects, and return in January to finish the job with a clearer sense of the film's flow. Fact number 18. One stuntman played multiple zombies. Tasso Stavrakis, a stuntman and close collaborator of Savini, played multiple zombies throughout the film. One night, he might be a mall wanderer, the next a biker gang casualty, and later a corpse tumbling from the balcony. His background in stunts meant he could handle the falls, the squibs, and the heavier physical work that other extras couldn't. This versatility saved the production time and money, and eagle-eyed fans have fun spotting his various undead cameos. Fact number 19. There's a bust of Romero in the Monroeville Mall. Decades after the film's release, the Monroeville Mall embraced its horror history. For the movie's 40th anniversary, Christian Stavrakis, brother of Tasso, sculpted a bronze bust of George A. Romero. The bust sits proudly in the mall as a tribute to the man who turned this shopping center into a cinematic landmark. Fans visiting the mall today often stop for a photo, standing where the undead once roamed, next to the face of the man who made it happen. Fact number 20. David Emge's zombie walk was carefully designed. When Steven is bitten and eventually turns, David Emge created one of the most distinctive zombie walks in cinema. Instead of just shambling, he incorporated the injuries his character had suffered: a dragging leg, an awkward arm swing, and a lopsided gait. This detail made Flyboy instantly recognizable and added a layer of tragic continuity to the transformation. Emge's portrayal went on to influence zombie performances for decades, showing that even in death, a character's story can still be told through movement. And there you have it, 20 weird and fascinating facts about Dawn of the Dead. From its accidental mall inspiration to its gore-soaked creativity, this film is a time capsule of 1970s horror ingenuity. It's messy, it's satirical, it's over the top, and it's still inspiring horror filmmakers today. So, which fact was your favorite? Did you know about the original dark ending, or the zombie kids? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you learned something new, and subscribe for more deep dives into horror history. Until next time, stay out of deserted malls unless you're packing a machete.